Okay, so today we're going to be accessing a CSV file through SpringBoot. Let's see here. Let me share my screen.
Do you have the file available for them to download? Did you want to send via Slack or something, or via Google Cloud link?
Yeah, I was going to see if they want to create it together.
Oh, okay. So what's the file they can create too? Okay, never mind.
Like,
Never mind.
Short little one. So I don't know if my screen is already shared or not.
Oh, no, I didn't enable it. 1 second. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. So first we'll go to Spring initializer. And we'll add our dependency, Spring, Spring Web. It's pretty much all we need. Give you guys a few seconds. And then we'll generate. I'll open this. Let's see here, it should be this one right here. Yes. And then we just want to open that in IntelliJ. So let me do this. 1 second. Open. Window. And then there'll be a second dependency that we need that it's not in that library, which I'll send it over. Let's see right here. And I'll shoot that in Slack right now. So just if you guys are following along, just copy and paste that in here in our POM XML. Where's the POM? Here it is. And just make sure we save those changes. All right, so now we can, let's create our Excel sheet first, actually, before we get into coding. So you can just go to Google Docs, which I'll be doing right now. Or Google Sheets, rather. And so I'm gonna just do something really simple, like ID, first name, last name. First name, last name. You can do city, I guess, and state. ID, obviously there could be one. First name, I don't know if anybody want to make up a name or.
Sally.
What was that?
Sally.
Sally. Last name, let's say, I don't know, Sally Smith. From Providence, I guess. That one, right? ID number 2. First name, we could say John. Last name, I don't know.
Jones.
There we go, John Jones. from anywhere, anybody, or
Boston.
I guess we could do one more, or
Bring in Ada Lovelace.
what was that?
Ada Lovelace.
Ada?
Yep.
Yeah, right, Ada.
Yep. And then Lovelace, first programmer.
And do you know where she's from?
I think she was from Mass too.
All right. Let's say Foxborough, since that's where the Pats are.
I like it.
Okay, I guess 3 names. Well, pretty much, yeah. On our data, which is fine. We'll name this our users, I guess. Users. And we just want to save this as a CSV. So let's go to download CSV. We'll go to our downloads. Hopefully it's there. There it is. Now, what I normally do here, I like to just drag it. So let me see here. I'll drag my sheet 1 here, and I believe we can put it in. Where do I want to put that in? Resources. Yeah, I guess we'll put that in our resources. So where did that go? There it is.
Good space, good spot for that. Yep, that's exactly where you want to put that stuff. It's the main resource. Yep.
Factor, and now we have it. CSV file. All right, so now we can start with our model. Let's see here, main. I guess we call this mod. Yeah, let's do that actually. Is there a quicker way to do this? Class. I guess we'll call it model user. Or is that capital? Capital, I believe. All right, so we create a package and the user class right here.
Hope everybody cut that little shortcut. Putting a something dot something gives you the package folder. So
right, yeah.
Very good shortcut to show off there. It's a nice little shortcut, so everybody keep track of that. You can do a something dot something as the last item in the dot syntax is your actual class. Everything before those, all the previous items dotted out are your models, or sorry, your packages. So, very cool.
So I'll give you guys a few seconds. All right, and then from there we'll just create our fields, and we'll say, and you remember we had ID, which I guess we put it as a long or a string really. I don't think we're going to be using any that. So it's private. We had first name, and we had last name. The last name, what did we put? We put city, right? City, and we did state. It was just city, right? Or did we just...
Oh, you did city and state, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. And then just the fun of it, like something like ID, that's something that at a job or something, you would have like a discussion about what's the right data type for it. Right. And when reading from a file, you have to think like, okay, well, how are we going to use this data after we've read it from the file? Are we just storing it as it is? We want to make sure no math is run on it, then we store it as a string. If this is something that we're bringing into a database that is going to auto increment, and that means that the first field is most likely a number, then we want to store it as a number. Because then we can reuse this class. That's kind of the idea there. if you're using this class later on, or if you're bringing the CSV into an actual database item, like with modeling, which you're hopefully going to see, I think that should be, I think that's Monday. You'll be seeing how to start using Hibernate.
Oh.
I think that's Monday. But that's where you'll want to make sure that your model kind of matches up, or your class matches up with both the CSV file, but then how you're going to be using it in the database as well. So you'll start seeing how those things are parallel. It's all about reusability. So yeah.
Okay.
That'd be an argument. That would not even an argument, but a discussion with the team.
So after we have our fields here, we'll just simply create our constructor. Just constructor. There we go. And from after our constructor, we can create our setters and getters. Getters and setters. Okay. So we have our fields, our constructor, our setters and getters. And down here, we'll do our toString. Right here. And say okay. And that's pretty much our model. One thing we have to add in here is our how we're gonna pretty much bind where we're gonna specify a binding between our columns and our CSV input, and we use that, and we use the we'll be using the CSV bind by name annotation. We'll do that for all our fields. Bind by name. Okay, I think that's the last thing we have to do on here. Then our next step will be creating our controller. Again, that goes right in here. So we can call this our controller. And we could call it user controller.
Hit enter. Did I catch you? Yeah, the small C. That's all good.
Oh, right here on my package, right?
Yup.
Let me fix
I
that.
thought packages were supposed to be all lowercase.
Let me see.
Again, that's one of those items you'll have to figure out with the company, but consistency is key here. So since model has a capital M, controller needs a capital C.
So let's do that then.
I wouldn't have, if Chang had made his model small m and his controller small c, then that wouldn't have been a big issue. But you always want to do consistency
All right,
to show that you're following some sort of rule set for yourself.
Okay. So since we already have model with the capital, we'll go with the capital in controller also.
Yep. Consistency is key.
And pretty much what we've done so far, I know that John covered most of all of this already, and this is just pretty much a refresh to get to where we're going to get to. First thing we create is obviously, oh no, not in here. Here, I believe, is our Rust controller. We need that. We need our request mapping, which this is where our endpoint's going to be. And we can call this, I don't know, backspace, anything really. We'll say API user, right? And then we'll go in here, mapping. And here we can, to specifically get our file, we can call it just CSV here. So that way, when we we'll type in our URL, we'll put API/user/CSV.
In order to do that, do you need the slash in front of the CSV
Oh, actually, you know what?
or after user?
Let's do it in here.
Right, cool. I just knew the slash needed to be somewhere.
Right. And then here we'll just create our method. Just say read CSV, and that's all we're really doing. All right, so we are going to say, what are we going to say? Into a list of users. We'll say users. Wait, yeah, users.
Yeah, it didn't auto import from the model though. That's all. Interesting. Here's a,
It used to auto import, now it doesn't. I don't know why.
yeah, not sure why that didn't auto import, but hey, as long as we get it, cool.
All right, and then basically we just want to say this is the syntax we'll be using. New CSV, I believe, is to bean builder. To extend object. Don't think we need to use this here because we'll be using new file reader. So pretty much the CSV to bean builder. Let me see, check my notes here. That pretty much is bypass all the steps that we need to set up to read from a CSV source. I don't know if Cliff could explain it more, but that's pretty much what it does. And then the file reader pretty much.
Sorry, I missed that. What was that? You want me to explain a little more?
Just the CSV to bean builder.
So Bean, so one of the original items was something called NetBeans. Was one of the original ways to do kind of network stuff, and they were packages for a while were called beans. Just remember Java, coffee. That's where the kind of the connection came for you. Ruby had gems. You have your gem system. So Java had their beans. So through NetBeans and stuff like that. So Apache NetBeans and all that stuff. So feel free to get kind of know about that terminology of NetBeans. That's where most likely the terminology came from. CSV to bean builder. It builds a bean.
Okay. And then this file reader here pretty much just read the source of our CSV import. So here, this is where we're going to put our path of our CSV file. So to do that, let's see here. So let's go to source, go into main, into resources, cd into, let me see, user sheets. Let's see if this is correct. No directory, right? Resources. No, it has to be resources. Yeah.
I think that's the file.
This is the file right here, right?
Yeah, that's just the file.
So I think this is what we need.
Yep, PWD. Yep, very good.
Let me just try to highlight this. So you want to copy that and just paste it right in here. I forgot something.
Double quotes.
That's what I forgot. Sorry. And right into my parentheses. Where is it? Oh, it went down here. Okay. I'll give you guys a few seconds.
Let's move new file reader to its own line. Right there.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Let me just, I would, oh, well.
Just waiting for a semicolon at the end.
Right here, right? Yeah, okay. So we have an error here. I think, let's see here. So now I think I ran into this earlier, and I know that if we surround it with a try-catch, that should go away. Okay, now we have another error here. Let's see what it says. CSV2 bean builder. It should.
So it's saying that what's returned there is not a list yet.
Okay. All right. So which is fine. Which after
Because
that,
you're actually not pointing to the file yet. You're pointing to just the folder, right?
let's see here.
Look at the
List.
file name. Your file name is just a URL to a folder. You forgot the users-sheet1.csv.
That's what we needed, right?
Yeah.
So hold on here. So we would have to go into user.
No, the file is literally just called users-sheet1.csv. You're in the folder. So just after the word resources, do / and then the users-sheet1.csv.
There we go. One.
CSV. I'm pretty sure that allows spaces in there. But still, you still need to actually return a list. Right now, you got the CSV to bean builder, so that's not actually building the list yet. So
Right.
I'll leave that to you.
So let's return something, right? So let's do here we could do a return, right? And we'll just say our results. Oh. Before that, CSV to bean builder. Okay, I forgot what we gotta do. We have to just have to do this actually. We have to use the syntax, and we are calling dot with type user dot class, right? We're doing a build, then we want to parse it. That's how we do it. What's this one out there?
Does that connect to the file reader, or does that connect to the CSV bean builder?
Let's see.
No, what I'm asking is that are those methods that are chained to the file reader, or those methods that are chained to the bean builder?
I think the build chain to the bean builder, right? Let's see here. Okay, so where is the? Okay, so I'll see my try catch here. List users. So if we.
Okay, that's why you can't hear me. I'm muted still. I'm like, why is he not listening to me? So what you have right now is that your 3 items are connected to your file reader because they're right after the line file reader, but the parenthesis for the bean builder is on line 25. So if you just move those 3 to after that parenthesis, they will be connected to your bean builder now.
To just move them out, right?
Yep. But you'll need to get rid of that semicolon there on line 23. And if you put them there, now they'll be part of the bean builder. So now you can see that it's happy now. There we go. I was like trying to talk to you. I'm like, why is he not listening to me? There you go.
All right. So after our try catch, we'll just do some logic in here. Pretty much, we'll say if is not empty, right? User.
So does anyone know why that one's not happy? Anybody else know before I answer?
Because he's declaring users inside of the try.
Right. And he's trying to use it outside of the try. And if we remember correctly, what is that concept? If it's
I would like to be within the scope.
we're not within scope.
So he has to
Yep.
create a variable outside the try.
Could do that, or we could just do this inside the try, underneath the list users. You could keep this inside the try block. So there's a now because notice in the catch is catching specifically a file not found exception. So if any other errors occur, that catch won't trigger. Note that you can have multiple catches after each of the parentheses. So let me for a second. There we go. Note that on try catches, you can add multiple conditions after here with another catch here to catch another type of exception. So you can catch multiple exceptions, which is a little different than how JavaScript did it. JavaScript try catches, you had one catch for all errors. Since Java has multiple different types of exceptions, they have different types of exceptions. You can even create your own custom exceptions. You can have multiple catches to catch each different type of exception within a try block. So once you have a try block, if any certain type of exception goes on that you have a catch for, you can catch that instead of causing the app to crash. So there's a lot of people who actually think that you should have a try catch inside of almost every single method. At least in any method that could potentially have a mistake happen. So that way you never crash your program. So I would recommend putting that inside the try. Otherwise, yeah, the other thing that you could do is move the list users declaration above the try.
Okay.
And then just assign it inside the try.
So move it out here, right?
And then still put the word users at the end there. Semicolon. And there you go. So now you declared it, and then you're assigning it on line 21, and now you have access to it in line 29 because you're outside of scope now.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still not happy. Why is it not happy?
Let's see. Variable users might not
Right.
initialize. So
You could hit that line without being initialized because your catch doesn't return.
so hit.
Notice how your catch doesn't return?
Yep.
Because of that, that means you could actually hit the try block. The line 21 could fail. You could hit the catch exception, and line 29 could actually have users that has nothing inside of it.
So can we just say?
Yeah, you could do. No, not that. Well, yeah, because it's initialized to no. Yeah, okay, yeah. That way it's at least initialized to something. And that
Right.
would be empty, so that should come back as a true then. Okay. Well, that would come back. That means you wouldn't go into the if statement. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Cool. Good idea.
So basically, we're saying if users is not empty, we'll say for each user users, just print out our data in there. Right? And then we'll just say return return. Let's see if I can just throw this. Right? User.toString. See if I could just push up there. Else. So else. Okay. Turn. Now. It's not found. Something like that. All right.
Looks good. Let's just indent that line 33 on me now. Fix your indentation on line 33.
You wanted more.
There you go.
right, I think that should be okay. We have our controller, we have our users, we binded them. I think we're missing anything. So yeah, let's try run. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's not happening. It's not happening. Normally, I'll have a play button right here. Why is it not?
This has to do with the fact you didn't import it yet either. Again, where you opened the folder, I don't think you imported it, so it didn't scan it to notice that it was a Spring Boot item. I don't remember how to do that. How to make this recognize that it's a Spring Boot application.
You can just go to demo application and hit run. Your like your main file, the demo application. Yeah, down. Yep.
There's your play button on the left-hand side of that. See it?
The
Let's try
There
that.
you go. Do it up.
Adds a configuration for you.
Nicely done, Christian.
See?
Yeah, always look for that file that has that little play icon somewhere. That
Yeah, I
should
was
do
looking for that. I was like, where did that go? And everything looks okay. And this is our endpoint API user slash CSV. So we'll go to here. H3.
If anybody wondering, since it's a get map, you can just use a browser. That's why he's not opening Postman or anything like that. So we're like, why is he not opening Postman? Remember, your browser can do get requests. We really need Postman for those specialty verbs. So
And we have an error. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So I ran into this earlier. Like it took me almost like 2 hours, like yesterday, to just figure it out. Since we are only reading our information, we didn't need to create a constructor for it. So let me resave it.
what was the reason for that again? Why not?
It was like I didn't really understood why, but I just found a solution to it. Since we're not reading or we're not creating or initiating our fields here, I would have to look into it again. All I know is it took me forever. And then
Interesting.
this model he created is essentially an entity model. I had to create one, and I found that you don't need a constructor in an entity model because it's just bringing in data and stuff. It's you don't create a new model from it. You create objects, but not an entity model. It's just
something like that. It was, I don't know, it was hard after like 2 hours of trying to figure this out. I was just checked out, but I finally got it running. And that was
Yeah, I think a lot of these things have a default like a default model that just does a this dot item. So I don't think that's part of it. But yeah, there you go. The results are in the terminal. Let's look at the terminal.
Here and here it is.
Yay.
Is there anything else that's been bugging anybody with this code? Let's see if anyone's like me.
Mine didn't work.
So technically, there's nothing wrong, but there is something that's bugging me about this model.
Well, I was in the model. I found I don't need my setters. I just need getters, I think, but I'm not sure.
I don't think we need getters because we have our toString method that we're using.
Okay.
Look how they're all grayed out. All the getters and setters are grayed. Can you comment those all out?
We run it. Make sure the go here. refresh. Looks like it still works.
Yep. Always, again, be careful of those things. Getters and setters are only necessary if you're actually going to access individual fields in a class, especially if they're already private. If you want, when you set both a getter and a setter for any private field, and there's no extra logic in those getters and setters, you might as well just make that field public. The only reason you need a getter or setter is if one of the packages you're using, they chose to design the package to use a getter or a setter, and then of course you'll get an error message. You'll know, okay, now you need to put it back in. But always make sure you're careful on that, because when you do those getters and setters, you're turning your classes into completely public items, and you're not really worrying. You're kind of hurting the OOP pillars of encapsulation and abstraction. So you want to be very careful of hitting that habit of just creating a getter and setter for every single field. You always want to create them as you need them. So that's one of my big things. Yep. Any questions from anybody?
Yeah, I'm getting an error because users is no. So is my file path wrong? What is yours?
Are you Windows or Mac first?
Windows.
So yeah, you might need to have the C : first in there.
Yeah, that's what I did have, and it still failed.
Crap. I was afraid it was going to be C Windows. Yeah, that means a Windows path, and I'm not sure what the Windows path looks like.
It usually has the C.
Yeah, it also may not, because it also may be looking for a URL path, which URL paths are identical to Unix paths. So that's why his is fine, but I'm trying to think what you may need, because you might also could just use file : / /
I got it.
Oop, you got it? What was it?
Yep. It
was
was
Windows.
that I had because see how he has the / and the request mapping. I thought you could do it in the get mapping. I didn't realize that he switched them. I had mine in the get mapping.
Those.
Yeah. I had that.
Gotcha.
I had that inside before the CSV, which I
That's
thought
fine.
you could do. Could you not do that?
Yeah, he could move that / down into the CSV and it should still work.
See, it didn't work for me. That's
interesting. Okay, we're not done.
You didn't have double slashes in there, did you? Because if you
No,
have 2
'cause
slashes,
that
it
would
wouldn't work.
Yeah, no.
Interesting. Hey,
gonna
it's
try
all good
again.
as long as it works.
And yeah, and that's how we just access our data CSV file.
So weird. I don't know what I did. All right.
Now, this is kind of your introduction. One of the things to do with this thing is also going to be have to kind of figure out, is this also, let's say our CSV file is very large. Is this the best way? Is it best to use this file reader to then pull everything at once and pull all the items in at once? Is there a way to batch process it? And these are things that other people, I know you have a batch processor lesson coming down the line. So is that something you can do here where you can parse the file bit by bit, or is it something that you have to bring the whole thing in memory? Or so this is just kind of starting you off. So this is giving you that platform like, hey, here's a way to start reading a file. But now think about scalability and how you get larger. Now that you have an initial way of pulling it and how you can see how there are packages out there to connect them to your user accounts, connect them to your models. Okay, cool. Try to unmute myself to not hold down the space bar. So you always want to take this in the next plan is like, how do I grow on this? How do I expand? Because again, one of the things we're going to give you for the final project, which I'm going to start introducing next week. So next week, you're going to get introduced to the final project, just so you can start coming up with your ideas, start coming up with your concepts, start coming up with your plan of attack. Which reminds me, by the way, cohort 11 students, I'm going to be checking over the weekend for your blackjacks. So start submitting those and whatever you have, just so I can see where you are. So I know if I'll probably end up just, like I said, I'm going to post for you guys, I'm going to add to the classroom, the classroom playlist, the cohort 8 breakdown of blackjack. Any of you guys can watch it. Depending on what I see from your submissions for blackjack of your own, will be whether or not you're required to watch it. When you get a chance this weekend, try to submit it before Monday. So I'm giving you guys a couple extra days because I forgot to even mention it this week. Totally forgot to even mention it. So I'm going to give you guys the weekend to finish it up in case you forgot about it for the last couple of days. Because I forgot to talk about it or forgot to mention it. So you have the weekend to finish up on it, work on it. Try to get it in by Monday. Again, depending on your grade on that is whether or not you'll be obligated to watch the video on the blackjack breakdown in cohort 8, or whether or not you'll be able to just continue on and keep working forward. I'm going to post it, like I said, I'm going to post it anyway, so everyone can take a look into it. It's actually a pretty good breakdown. You'll learn a little more again about some more interfacing, some more object building, and how you construct your objects and how to approach a problem. You'll see the breakdown of what we came up with a plan of attack. So it's a good couple of videos to go through. But again, that's whether or not it's required. But next week, we're going to give the final project. You'll get to see what it entails, what we're going to be trying to build with it, and why what we're doing these classes are important for that end. Once you have it, you don't have to start working on it immediately, because there's going to be still a couple extra pieces from the lessons that you're seeing that you'll need to finish the final project. So you can either, what I would recommend though, is looking at this final project, do one of two things. Either yes, start the final project immediately, or start building smaller 1 to 2 hour projects that help you to learn how to use these things. So build something else with a CSV. So take this lesson here again, what Cheng gave you, maybe go online, find a slightly bigger, more complicated CSV file, and make sure that you can read that file. And maybe even once you can, on Monday, I think it is, again, Monday, you'll learn how to use Hibernate to connect the database and SpringBoot, not just read the CSV, but take from the CSV and put it into the database, for example, things you could do. So you want to start putting these things, start stitching these lessons together as we go farther and farther. Sound good? Any questions for Chang? I think we did good this one. Yep.
Yep.
Very nicely done.
Good job,
Good
Chen.
lesson, Chang.
Good job, Chang.
It took me forever to figure out that last part out.
Yeah, I would have thought to remove the constructor. That's a weird error message for that. That error message didn't seem to hint towards it at all.
Yeah.
With white labeling, what? So that was a weird one. But that's what we have to deal with sometimes. So no, well done. Great job. Like I said, so I think it's, let me check the list and see again who it is. I gotta go again. I gotta repost it again just so that's close up on the list. All right, so today is, that would be, oh yeah. Oh, all right, that's Richard, but that means that Monday technically is a holiday. So we have a bunch of people here. Are we observant? So I guess it was Richard.
We did a
Joel,
poll.
and
I
David.
posted a poll in the Slack channel if you guys want to answer it.
There we go.
Yes or no.
Oh,
I'm
I see
fine
it there.
doing it Monday, but you know, if half the class isn't, then I'll push it
Christian's
off.
double voting.
He's indifferent. That's what that means.
I don't like double votes.
I'll take them both out then.
That's still double voting. Not voting is technically voting for both.
I told him to put "it doesn't matter" in, and he said he couldn't do it, so I just voted both.
You told me
Hey.
after I made it.
That's
It's
fair.
yes or no question, man. Either you want a class on Wednesday or on Monday, or you don't.
I don't answer yes or no questions. I'm indifferent.
That'll go
I'm the
well in
annoying
company
one in my
sometimes. You gotta at least have your opinion. What would you like?
I don't care.
I go with majority.
So here's the funny thing about
Yeah,
that.
that
That
too.
technically means you are willing to have class on Monday. So that means technically yes.
But also no.
No,
I'm pretty sure everyone who said yes is like, I'm okay if we don't have class, because it's just you don't do it.
That's fair. That is true.
I'm very confident Joel can also agree that technically if class doesn't happen on Monday, he's not going to be like, no, I'm going to be sitting here ready for class. I'm going to be sitting on Slack. Everyone has to be here. Damn it.
Actually, I disagree with that point, Cliff.
Okay.
Let's get it over with.
I like that. I will be angry now.
That's fine. Whatever happens, happens.
See? See, he's technically indifferent as well.
Fair enough.
I go with majority.
Oh, jeez. Again, it's your guys' call. So the class, if Richard and you guys decide to put it up as a poll, you guys can decide how it goes. And that means, Richard, you're on Monday, so I'll just be paying attention. If you guys need me to start the Zoom, let me know. If not, we'll do it on Tuesday. Because it seems very close right now.
Sounds good.
I'll see y'all then. Have a great
All right.
weekend.
bye.
Later.
Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.